guys, it's Sophie, and today I wanted to do another college video because I am graduating, I think around the time that you're watching this. I'm pre-filming it a little bit, but I wanted to talk about the things not to bring to college. I've done a video in the past, I think it was almost 2 years ago now, about essentials that you should bring to college. I will link that above, but I also wanted to mention things that you shouldn't bring to college. I get a lot of questions about like, should I bring this? Should I bring this? Is this unnecessary? Things like that, and I wanted to just talk about a couple of things that you might want to hold off on bringing, leave at your family house, and then you can always bring later if you need them. So firstly, what might seem like an obvious one but was not so obvious to me when I was packing is don't bring your entire wardrobe. First of all, if you are going to be going home for breaks and things, you can swap out things for different weather occasions. Like you don't need to bring your winter coat and your winter boots and your hats and your gloves in September, in the beginning of the year. If you are going somewhere where it's going to be warm in September and cold in December and you're going home for Thanksgiving, just switch it out then. You know, I got worried like, oh, but what if it's cold that one day and I might need it? But like, you're not going to need it. You'll have other things. There's other ways to be warm, and you don't need to bring your entire winter wardrobe if it's still summer. So think about, you know, not bringing all the clothes you need. Your closet at school is probably going to be smaller than your closet at home most of the time, so make sure that you are really taking the things that you wear a lot. Don't bring any like, oh, special occasion, what if I happen to go to a black tie ball? Like those kinds of things you can leave at home and you can get them if you need them, but you will not need your entire wardrobe at college. My next recommendation is to not take your most expensive / beloved jewelry items. This is another thing that I really struggle with. I wear a lot of jewelry and I like to wear my jewelry. I don't like to just keep it in storage, and I struggled with this, and now that I'm in my own apartment I kind of have a lot of my jewelry with me, but when I was just dorming I left a couple of key pieces at home. You know, if you have that one expensive watch or that one, you know, pair of earrings that are really nice, you know, consider leaving them at home, especially if you are in a dorm that maybe people don't lock the doors, people keep the doors open. You know, you want to trust the people that live in your dorm, but also you don't want to be too trusting with your, you know, really beloved jewelry items. You really don't want to bring valuables of any kind, really. I mean, my valuables are more like jewelry, but if you have other valuables, just don't bring them to college. Just don't risk it. Kind of going along with that, I would recommend not investing in the bedding that you bring to college. You know, you might have really nice bedding at home and you might want to bring that, or, you know, get some nice bedding because you're going to be living in that room for a year. But I recommend just getting some really basic, cheap, plain bedding. First of all, if you get like patterned bedding, it's going to look super cluttered in your dorm room because dorm rooms just always look cluttered even if you're neat. But also people, you know, spill things on your bed and they tend to get pretty messy and dirty in college. So I would just recommend getting the bare basics. I would just recommend getting the bare basics in terms of bedding and not bringing anything too nice. Now, if you're someone like me who had a pretty extensive makeup collection before going to college, I recommend really breaking that down into the bare basics. So I have, if you've ever like watched a lot of beauty videos, I have those Alex 9 drawers at home that every like beauty guru uses to store their makeup, and it's absolutely huge, and I have that thing filled with makeup. And you really have to curate what you think you actually are going to wear on a day-to-day basis and not take your entire makeup collection. Right now I have right here next to me just 6 kind of those plastic drawers that are clear that people use to store makeup, and that is all I have in terms of makeup. You know, I curated from the big Alex 9 drawers just to these 6 little plastic drawers that I keep on my desk now, and I mean, I honestly don't even use half of this stuff. You're really not going to need your entire makeup collection, and again, you can swap out things when you go home, and it's just going to take up a lot of space that you're going to realize like you don't even have time to do your makeup in the morning. So try to keep it, you know, to the basics, and then bring that like one colorful eyeshadow palette that you might need, and you know, you don't bring the 5 colorful eyeshadow palettes. You know, try to really narrow it down. Bring the 2 foundations that you love to wear. Don't bring the 6 foundations that you might want to wear that one time. Think about those kinds of things and really try to break down your makeup collection, because you're not going to need all of it and it's going to take up a lot of space. I recommend not bringing any school supplies to college. On the first day of school every semester, all I bring with me to class is a laptop and a notebook and a pen. You are not going to need anything else. I know in high school or middle school or whatever, they do pretty extensive lists, some teachers, of what you might need for that class. You're going to need this highlighter and this binder and this whatever. College, you almost never need anything besides a notebook and a pen or laptop. And if you do need something, the teacher will tell you on your first day and then you can go out and get it. But the only other supply that I use are highlighters. And I haven't even used them in the last year. I probably used them for like my first year and a half of college. And you just really don't need school supplies. And when I first came to college, I brought like a binder full of lined paper in case I needed that. I brought like a bunch of notebooks. I brought like different kinds of pens and highlighters and pencils, and like you just don't need any of that stuff. And if one professor says that you need that one thing, you can order it on Amazon. It takes up a lot of clutter. You usually 90% of the time don't need any school supplies. So just make sure you have your laptop. First day, bring a notebook and a pen. And my last recommendation is to not bring kind of those little sentimental things that you've held on to since your childhood that you've always had in your bedroom that you think like, oh, what if in college I feel, nostalgic or sad for home and want to look at that one thing that reminds me of home. But that stuff, again, takes a lot of clutter in your dorm room, and chances are it could break or get damaged. So if you have kind of those sentimental things that you love having in your room and you think that you're gonna miss, don't bring them, because they're gonna, get damaged by somebody else. Somebody's gonna knock into something and break something. You might lose it. Things get, lost all the time in dorm rooms. So I would say just leave home. A lot of the stuff that made your childhood room your bedroom, you don't need to bring that to college. It's still gonna be there when you go home, but I would say just hold off on that and bring as little kind of clutter as possible. My last recommendation, don't bring candles. Most colleges don't allow them, and I love candles personally, but you cannot have candles in 98% of dorm rooms. So just leave them at home, leave your precious Bath & Body Works. Those are all my kind of tips on what not to bring to college. I hope that I helped you guys out a little bit. If you want to see what I do recommend bringing to college, I will link that in the little eye at the top of the screen. And let me know what you guys recommend not bringing to college in the comments below. I would love to hear, and thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye!